All right. Well, hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Million Mom Movement. My name is Dominique Jeffries. I have been a part of Purium and this incredible community for 5 years, and I've actually been on the Million Mom Movement as a council member for one full year. And it's so surreal. I was just telling my sister about this that I remember this time last year, the holiday season, and Naiva can probably attest to this, but I was like a month into joining this council and I was still really nervous to lead calls and hadn't really found like my flow or my rhythm when it came to presentations and leading presentations. And I've grown so much over this year, which I had, a lot of the people who jumped on the call earlier drop in the chat what this year has really meant to them, or maybe an area in one word that they've really grown in 2025. And I can just say that this council has helped me so much in my growth as a leader and as a woman. And I've just learned so much along the way. And I'm just so grateful for all of you who have tuned in to these presentations and supported me along the way. But I'm also joined tonight by my fellow council member, Naiva Flory. She is one of our founding council members. She's a Blue Diamond leader and has been a brand partner with Purium for over 10 years. So you definitely will get a lot of wisdom between the two of us over the years that we've been a part of this community and what we've learned, especially when it comes to this business opportunity. So we welcome all of you to join us and learn more. So as far as today's presentation, we are going to celebrate this incredible income opportunity that we have with Purium, right? It's an opportunity that really we can make true and like lasting impact in our community and really support us in ways that we can feel nourished and replenished, both physically on the health side, but also financially through our efforts of service. And so I wanted to honestly title tonight's call because we are in the holiday season, right? We're a few weeks out from Christmas and the New Year. And this is generally a time where we are focused on what we can give to others, right? Which is great. It's definitely important to be of service to our community and, to use our gifts to help others. But I also wanted to take the time to highlight how the Purium opportunity, this Purium economy, actually puts us in position to receive just as much, if not more, than we give. So, if you want, actually go ahead and drop a 2 in the chat if this year has been transformational for you. Okay, we got some 2s coming in. All right. Yeah, this year, wow, maybe it has felt like, I don't know for some of you, but I'll just kind of share my own experience. This year has kind of felt like I've been trying to catch my breath all year long. I've had to let go of a lot of things, a lot of beliefs, a lot of people, a lot of just old ways of operating, and just really lean into or move away from things that are no longer serving me. And I know because it's the end of the year, we are reflecting on this year and the things that we've let go of. But I've also, gained a lot of wisdom this year and learned a lot from the lessons it has taught me. And so because of that, I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to just focus on receiving this holiday season and remembering that we deserve to receive just as much as we give, right? So I have a few like really fun games for us to play tonight. I would love to have your participation in the chat if you're available or able to. I know some people are driving or, on their way home from work, things like that. But I would really love your participation and any volunteers as well as I go along in this presentation. So if you're able to, now would be a great time actually to just grab a piece of paper or something that you can write with so you can follow along once we get started with the presentation. So before we start into all of that, I love to open it up to our pledge. So first of all, if you're joining us for the first time, first of all, we want to welcome you. We are the Million Mom Movement. Mom actually stands for Movement of Many. And we are 1,000 people in 100 communities committed to spreading health, well-being, and economic opportunity around organic superfood nutrition with 10 families each. So if you are here and maybe you're a mother, a daughter, a sister, even if you're a brother, an uncle, a friend, a caregiver, an influencer, an elder, we welcome you to this community And we really are grateful to have you here. And honestly, we wouldn't be able to spread this mission if it weren't for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I want us to read our pledge. And we always like to open it up to volunteers to read the pledge. So would anyone like to volunteer and read it? Let me share my screen. You can raise your virtual hand if you'd like to read the pledge.
I can read it. It's
Oh,
Anna.
hi, Anna. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Um, Million Mom Movement. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom movement.
Thank you, Anna. And I know you just muted, but I'll go ahead and ask you to unmute because I would love to hear what this movement or what this pledge really means to you and your family.
For me, it's helping my kids now to I have a 9 and 14-year old to eat healthier because so much I feel like even the school lunch are so processed. And then now that my kid is in high school, he buys like gummies, and I was like, those are not really food; they're just chemicals. So I feel like if we as a society push for a healthier food available for our kids, we will have a better community. So, and with the transformation using the biomedic, I know it has helped my kid with his rash a lot. So I see improvement for myself and for my husband and kids. So thank you.
Beautiful. Well, I love that so much. I'm so glad that your family has found, transformation from what we share. And I definitely resonate with what you mean, just seeing how the school system, right, does not have the best options for our children in this next generation. I just even remember too going to school, and I remember by the time I got home, I was like just running through the kitchen trying to find whatever I could to eat because I felt like I didn't have any nourishment the entire day. And it's kind of interesting how I don't know how I was functioning and getting through the day, but I was. And, now that I'm older and I'm able to just reflect on that, but also pay it forward to more kids is really important. So thank you for sharing that and being a leader in your family and also being here with us to pay it forward to more families too. Beautiful. So thank you for sharing. All right. So let's get into the presentation, right? The season of receiving. This is where our health actually can meet prosperity. So like I said, today's call is going to be really interactive. So if you can drop a one in the chat if you consider yourself to be a giver. I would love to see how many givers we have on the call. Maybe you're someone who loves to give a lot to others. Maybe you're the one who always tends to give the most in your relationships, in your community, maybe at home, at work, or in your friendships. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing some ones. I definitely um, have been an overgiver. I'll be honest. I was definitely a person in friendships and relationships where I kind of saw myself as a leader. And, prior to Purium, I really thought that leadership meant that my way or my perspective was what would probably be best for the people around me. And I've learned just through this experience that that's not always the case. And that's honestly just not true leadership. Um, Okay, so we have a few ones. Now, drop a two in the chat if you maybe are an overgiver, or maybe you're not an overgiver, but you're learning how to receive more. Maybe you're opening yourself up to have a balance between giving and receiving. Okay, Yesenia has a two. Athena says two. Yeah. Kelly. Okay, great. Well, you guys are in a great place. We're going to get into that a little bit more. So, kind of like what Anna said, right? We here at Purim, we are in the business of helping people transform physically, emotionally, and financially, right? We are in the business of being of service to others. And whether you're someone, if you dropped a one in the chat and said that, you're someone that overgives or not, being in this business, you will attract people in your community who can potentially tend to be overgivers. You might even along the journey find yourself dipping into that overgiving pond, just because what we offer here is so powerful. It's so transformational, it's beautiful, and you're gonna, as you go through your own journey, you will feel so supported and so nourished and just like excited about what we have that you know that it's something that everybody needs. And usually sometimes that overexcitement can lead into overstepping and maybe trying to convince or prove to people that this is something that they need. I don't know if anybody resonates with that. You can drop a three in the chat, because I definitely have seen, even just with some of my team members, wanting this so bad for their family and seeing how this can be helpful to them. And, their family isn't really in that space yet, right? We don't want to give up on them, but they might not be in that space right away. So over the past 5 years, like I said, I've seen this overgiving cycle and just overextending within myself, and how that has also duplicated within my team and my business partners. And it's something that I've had to learn to create balance with, because living in any extreme, no matter what it is never sustainable long term. And this mission that we have here with Purium to really be able to give back and help others, we want to make sure that we are operating in balance, and that we're not only serving ourselves, or excuse me, serving others, but we're also serving ourselves. And when we are operating in that extreme of overgiving, it doesn't hurt, or I guess the only person that it hurts more than anyone is ourselves, right? So, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to highlight the blessing of receiving, because it is a holiday season. And I thought, what better way for us to give back to ourselves, to pour into our cup for a little bit, than to acknowledge the ways that we can really nestle into receiving, and definitely over the holiday season, but especially as we head into this new calendar year. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to play a little game together, and would definitely love to have a volunteer. Let me go to the next slide. Okay, so what I'm going to do, or what this game consists of, is I just am going to go through a few slides of some statements, and would love to have a volunteer to unmute and just read, or just to answer whether they would like to receive this statement or release this statement. Right, something that they might want to affirm for next year, or it may not be something that you've only experienced yourself, but that is not something you want to take into 2026. So either release or receive. So do I have any volunteers that would like to play along with me? And don't be shy. I don't bite. I promise.
Okay, I'll play.
Oh, perfect. I think that's Andre. Okay, great. All right. So, like I said, it's a game of release or receive. So I'm going to go through a few statements, and you can read off whether you'd like to receive or release. Oh, I skipped all the way through it. Sorry, 1 second. Let me get back. Okay. So the first statement is, would you like to release or receive leading from survival mode instead of emotional safety?
I would like to release.
Yes, right. Nobody wants to leave from survival mode. It's not sustainable, but it is something that some of us have experienced in this business. Release or receive, being seen and valued for who you are, not how much you produce.
Yes, I will happily receive that.
Right? How much being seen and valued for who you are. Um, Release or receive, success that allows rest, joy, and spaciousness.
I would love to receive that.
Yes. More rest, more joy, and space. Okay. Making money in ways that cost me my peace. Would you like to release or receive?
I'll release that one.
Right. I can definitely attest to this. Drop in the chat if you have ever worked a job or been in a career that it cost you your peace. That's actually what drew me to Purium was I can no longer work in that space anymore. My peace is way more valuable than that. Carrying other people's emotional baggage as my responsibility, release or receive.
I'm going to release that.
Yes. And it can be tricky in this business too, because we are in the business of service and we want to help people. And the transformations that people are going through are emotional, but we don't want to carry anybody's baggage. That's not leadership, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mentoring from depletion instead of overflow, release or receive.
I'm going to release that for sure.
Yes, for sure. Okay. I think I just have a couple more. Leading in ways that sacrifice my peace, time, or boundaries, release or receive.
Release.
Yes. I think a lot of people this year have reflected on their boundaries and decided that they want to have stronger boundaries and not sacrifice their peace for that. So I'm glad that you're in alignment with that. Collaborations rooted in trust, alignment, and emotional safety. Would you like to release or receive?
I would love to receive that.
Yeah, alignment is key. And then the last one is partnerships where I can lead and be led without losing myself, release or
Yes.
receive.
Let's do it.
Wonderful, receive. So thank you so much for playing along. If you could share just what, as you went through, or as I went through these slides, how did you feel in your body when you answer the word receive? Did you notice any changes in how you felt in your body?
Yeah, I definitely felt more like open and uplifted.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. More uplifted. And that's a space that we definitely want to be in. Obviously, here with Purium is in a space where we can feel grounded and uplifted because we're going to be pouring, into others. So
Hmm.
thank you for playing along and reading through those with me.
That was
So,
fun.
oh, good, good, good. Okay, well, that was part one of my little game. The second one is a practice that I really enjoy and that has brought a lot of clarity for me and on just the areas and reflecting on the areas of my life, especially where I want to receive more. So, this is a practice that you can use and share with your team, your family, and just, maybe even reflect on it as we go into 2026. And it's called the Peace Index. And I don't know if anyone on here has heard of this before, but if you are in a space, this is a great time to pull out a piece of paper and pen so that you can go along here with me as I read through the Peace Index. So, what you're going to do is you're going to write down on a scale of 1 to 100 and rate each of the following areas of your life. So, first, we're going to start with our purpose. On a scale of 1 to 100, are you living in your purpose? Where do you feel you're at when it comes to purpose? And then next, you're going to do the same thing for people. Do you feel that you're surrounded by people that encourage you to be your truest self on a scale of 1 to 100? Next, we have place, which is, where you live, your current environment. On a scale of 1 to 100, how happy are you with your environment? Personal health, the scale of 1 to 100, how happy are you with your physical and mental health, or I guess I'll say well being? And if you're already a part of our community, I hope that that number is pretty high with what we have. And then last, but definitely not least, provision. Are you happy on a scale of 1 to 100 with how you are creating money and wealth? Okay. So I'll give you guys some time to go through that if you need it. Um, and what you're going to do after you have those numbers, you're going to add each number up and then you'll divide it by 5 and you'll get a percentage of where you are on your peace index. So I'll share that. Yeah, and this is a great time if you want, you can take a screenshot of this so you can share it with your team or your family later. But I'll just start with mine. When I did this a few days ago, my score was actually an 83%. Now, some of you know I've shared this on a few calls before, but when it comes to place where I live, that was 100% because I just moved to Scottsdale, Arizona from Miami, Florida. And it's been a dream of mine for a long time to live in the desert. Let me turn my light on here. I feel like it's getting dark. So that was 100%. I was really excited to add that on there. And because of Purian, because of this community and this opportunity, I've been able to work remotely and move here. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity because without that, my place probably wouldn't be at 100%. So that was one of the areas that was pretty strong for me. Personal health, very strong as well. Just feeling really strong in my body, mentally and physically, and just grateful for this community. And also, obviously, our incredible superfoods that have helped me maintain throughout this transition that I've been through this year. I've seen a lot of people struggling mentally this year and with their physical health. And so it's a blessing that we have what we have every day to nourish ourselves with. And then when it came to purpose, I guess I'll start with people. That number was not as high just because I feel that this year I have released a lot of people that aren't really in alignment with my highest self or the version of myself. So it wasn't super high or super low. It was kind of, I guess, in the middle because I'm in a space where I'm really wanting to expand that area of my life. And if you can resonate with that, you can drop in the chat too. I know some people have been on a journey where they've realized, I may have outgrown some friendships or relationships in my life. And then when it comes to purpose and provision, because the work we do here with Purium is very much aligned when it comes to having purposeful work. So I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity to really be in my purpose and to receive income by helping others. And I'm excited for those areas next year, especially to continue to grow and expand here. So I share with you guys my score, which is 83%. Would love to open up to hear from you. Would anybody take the time to maybe play this game with me if you'd like to unmute and share your percentage, or maybe even just share where on this peace index you feel confident in and the areas that maybe you want to grow?
What was the percentage that we were supposed to divide it in? I didn't get that
So
part.
you'll add up, yeah, you'll add them up and then you'll divide it by 5.
By 5. Okay. Got it. I got 86%.
6. Wonderful. Oh, I think you're muted. Would you like to expand a little bit more and share the areas that you feel are really strong and maybe some areas next year that, you're excited to expand in?
The fourth, the personal health. This year has been very good because with Purium, nutrition wise, it's been, a lot better. I feel like I'm getting my nutrition the way it should be and not too worried about, having to learn how to do this or do that, to meal prep or that. And as far as the fifth point, provisions about money, well, that's where this has made a big change in my way of figuring how to go about that, right? Of doing it better, getting that knowledge about how to do the business and be able to better on that side. So right now, I would say it's halfway.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable and sharing your peace index with us. And that's, you're being honest, and I really appreciate that. And, I think a lot of us here, the personal health is very strong. Like I mentioned, earlier, if you're been a part of our community, you've been eating these superfoods. And I'm glad that you mentioned, just this growth and evolution that you're on when it comes to the business and finding new ways to share that feel authentic, but also that, you can reach more people. And that's the journey that we have here, right? in business, no matter what business you're doing, but also here with Purium, is that you are growing as a person, as a woman, as a leader. And there's ways, sometimes it takes time to pivot and kind of, really hone in on what feels good to you and how you want to really share your story and share this opportunity. And I can resonate with that too. So definitely keep going, keep sharing. And thank you, for being on and sharing tonight. Would anybody else like to share and read their peace index? I see Kelly wrote in the chat, would love to grow in all these areas. My percentage is low. Okay, no worries. That's a great, it's just awareness is key, right? So as long as you have awareness, you can kind of see the areas that you want to receive a little bit more. So thank you for sharing that, Kelly. But yeah, would anyone else like to share? Okay, no worries if you don't. You can come back later. But I wanted to just highlight that if your percentage, may be lower than 90%, you honestly couldn't be in a better place. I would say that 90% or above is probably indicative that your cup is very full and that you are in a space where you can, it's overflowing, right? Which is exactly where we want to be when it comes to expanding as a leader here. But if it's less than 90%, just like I said, mine is at this moment, we couldn't really be in a better place, or you couldn't be in a better place than being here with us here at Purium. And that's really because this opportunity encompasses all of these areas, right? We really value every single one of these areas: purpose, people, place, your personal health, your provision, and our community is here so that we can support you, support each other in improving these areas that need a little bit more love and attention. Because remember, this call is really about receiving more. And if we don't really have clarity on the areas that we want to grow or receive more, then how can we really ask for it, right? So, oops, I keep skipping ahead. Here we go. So when we think about this opportunity, right, it encompasses community, which is all of you here are a part of it. And community is truly about receiving support, not suffering alone. And a lot of times that forces us to be honest, to kind of be vulnerable and maybe share or reach out and say, hey, I need support here, especially if it comes to, the business. And that's one of the reasons why I love this community, because not only do we have the Million Mom Movement, but when you join this business, you have mentorship, you have leadership that can really support you in getting all the tools that you need to be successful, um, and helping you along the way of your journey. So you're never in business, by yourself here. And I think that a lot of us, when we think about being a part of community, it's great to, give what we have, but it's also important for us to remember that we're here to receive just as much as, we contribute to the community. Our health is receiving nourishment, not punishing our body into change. And if you have been a leader here, maybe you have been supporting your community with health. I'm sure you've seen people that, feel like starting a new health journey is punishment. It's a diet. It has to be hard or difficult. And that's the complete opposite of what we share here with Purium. It's really about receiving the nourishment, following the program to a T, because when you follow it the way that it's designed, magic happens, and you don't have to, punish yourself or be in deprivation here, right? It's really about abundance. So we already are in the energy of receiving when we are sharing this business opportunity or even this, health opportunity, because we are sharing with others that they can receive nourishment. When it comes to prosperity, right? Prosperity is really about receiving freedom. It's not staying in a system that limits you. And some of you know my story from working in a restaurant, and I wanted freedom, but I honestly was afraid to kind of leave an environment that was limiting my ability to create more. And I couldn't see a way out, but I wasn't really in a space where I was ready to receive that freedom yet until Purium came into my life. So I think sometimes we want things so bad in our life, but are we really in a space where we're able to receive that? And I want to just remind you that this opportunity really allows us to do that. Um, when it comes to purpose, right? Purpose is about receiving alignment, not abandoning ourselves to fit in. So receiving an opportunity that's in alignment with your goals, with your values, with just the vision that you see for yourself, and not feeling that you have to go through or go to other opportunities that force you to abandon yourself for money or for whatever, other reasons that it may be. So coming back to the energy of receiving. And then last but certainly not least, especially here with Purium, residual income is receiving with ease and not chasing outcomes. And I don't know if anyone can, attest to this, but I working in the restaurant or working, previous jobs, I was in a state of just constantly hustling. And that was because if I didn't work, I didn't make money. And I needed money to support myself. But when I stepped into this space with Purium and really allowed myself to receive or see the possibility when it comes to residual income, I realized that it wasn't about hustling. It was really about leaning more into creating space within my body to receive that income and to be in alignment with the people I'm sharing it with, or just, really creating a container for my team to be working in alignment together. And some of us come from different backgrounds or whatever career paths we have where we may be in that space of chasing and hustling and forcing things. But here with Purium, it's the complete opposite. It's about alignment. It's about receiving. And one of the greatest gifts that anyone can have, especially here in America, is the blessing of residual income. And especially if you are a woman. So, I want to just remind you, you can even take a screenshot of this photo too, of how this business supports you in receiving just as much as it is giving in what we have here, because obviously we have the ultimate gift, which is the ultimate lifestyle transformation. It's a picture of me and my sister here on this slide, of a table that we did. And we want to give this to people and we want them to experience it and we want them to have an incredible transformation. But just remind yourself, like, what is it that I want to really receive going into this new year? Because I have this incredible gift I can share. What do I want to get back um, in turn, from that? So if you want to receive more in 2026, drop receive in the chat, or you can drop a 3 too, whichever is easiest. I don't know if you're driving. If you want to give from a place of fulfillment, right, then you want to join our community, this Purium economy, because this really is the ultimate gift of a lifetime. So would anybody have any thoughts, any feedback you'd like to share? I'd love to open it up to hear from you, because like I said, we are a community and we want to um, hear from each other so that we can each grow.
Can I share something?
Sure, Andrea. Hi.
Hi. So I'm Andrea. I am a dietitian. I live in Hawaii, and I've been with Purium for a while. I just haven't really dove into it fully, and now getting my I'm getting my movement on and really starting to share the products more. And I actually got Anna Marie on an interview that I did over last week. I organized the summit for neurodiversity, and she's going to be our special guest talking about how the Purium can help, like, not just children with like autism and other conditions, but also the caregivers that take care of them that don't always have time to eat good nutrition. And so I wanted to invite everybody. We're gonna launch your interview tomorrow, and it's a free summit. It's at neurodiversitythrives.com. So I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, it's going to be free. And as like a special guest, I'm going to let everybody see all the replays over the weekend. So if you know anybody that has any family members with autism or ADHD or anything like that, or somebody that you want to share the products to as well, it's going to be really good. So
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, definitely drop it in the chat. And congratulations for leading that opportunity and sharing what we have with our, your community and people who really need it. And just when you were sharing, I was thinking about how um, you are in the space of receiving the support and the leverage of Anne Marie, right? Who, those of you who don't know Anne Marie Sandoval, she is Dave's wife, and she's actually going to be on next week, which I'm going to share a little bit
okay.
to like, yeah, our autism call and just really we can support more people who are on the spectrum in those families. But you're leveraging her
Hmm.
knowledge and just her positioning in this company to support a community that you're passionate about. And just from sharing that, you are receiving that support, that knowledge, that love. And that's a big part of what we have in this business model is leverage. I think
Hmm.
sometimes we come into this and we feel like we have to know everything and we have to do everything on our own. And that's not the case here. So, yeah, I just want to say congratulations to you and thank you
Thank
for
you. Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, I'm happy to give the open access if you guys want to share it next week too, then I can figure out something like a password or something that people can rewatch, like watch the videos too if they don't hear about it this week. But I think they're going to put something out, hopefully, to the community as well about it. So
yeah,
it's
yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's like a watch at your own pace. So every day I've just been emailing people the link. So when you sign up, you'll get like an email with today's, and then tomorrow you get a new email. So
Okay, cool. I was going to say, I know you dropped it in the chat for those of you who are asking. Definitely, if you could post it in our Facebook page,
hmm.
the Million Mom Movement, I'll share it after. So that way, if you guys aren't able to catch the link, then you can, catch it there and also open it
Okay.
up to who aren't able to be on too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I saw
Okay.
someone else had their hand up. Was it Lorraine? Did you want to share something? Yeah.
Yes, I did have my hand up, but I was going to ask some of the questions that we've already seen because I'm really interested in looking in on, I'm sorry, I forgot her name about she just was talking to
Oh,
us.
Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea, because I know a lot of people on the spectrum. I think they'd really like that. So,
Good.
but in the end, it was going to be placed on, I think you said the business Pirium.
Oh, go ahead, Andrea.
Oh, I don't know where they were putting it, but I'm gonna send it to Naiva to send out. But yeah, the um yeah, I'll post it in the Million Mom Movement group on the Facebook page.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely any follow-up information you're looking for, you can always find it in our Facebook group or on our Instagram as well. Wonderful. Would anyone else like to share any takeaways from either this call or this year, anything that's been on your heart to something that you want to grow in next year? We just want to open it up to hear from you. No hands. Okay. Well, no worries. Um, as we close out, I want to just share, like I said, this year has been transformational for a lot of people. And I'm sure you've even, noticed from some of the people that you are connecting with and sharing that they are in a space where they, need more nourishment, whether that's physically or financially. And what we have here really encompasses both. So let me share my screen again. So if you are joining us for the first time, or you are interested in learning more about our opportunity and getting started, well, one, we are looking for people to experience our superfoods, have an incredible transformation, and then partner with us in business so that we can help our community, our planet, and our economy grow and also have a lot of fun, doing it together. I know Andrea's, shared a event that she's hosting and that she's really able to leverage this community to plug into the neurodivergent community. So no matter what area in your life you are most passionate about when it comes to service, this business can really fit in really well. So, one, we just encourage you to get back to the person that invited you to this call. They'll be able to help you get started. And then we want you to start sharing immediately, whether that's to the closest people around you, your social media, friends, family, so that you can really get this message out there. And then definitely plug into our weekly community trainings. I know our company has daily trainings, but here at the Million Mom Movement, we have weekly trainings every Thursday, and you can take a screenshot of this slide. For those of you who are asking questions about Andrea's event, she's going to post it in our Facebook community group. And then next Thursday, actually, is going to be our autism call. And Anne Marie Sandoval is going to be leading that. She is one of our co-founders and formulator, Dave Sandoval's wife, and she has a lot of knowledge with working with the autism community. But next week's call specifically is going to be about nourishing the parents of neurodivergent family members or kids, because I don't know about some of you, but just from being in this community over the years, I've noticed that working with parents, specifically for their kids, they maybe want their kids to have more nourishment and to feel better, have more energy, whatever that looks like. But they aren't really living or taking care of themselves. Their cup is not full. So we really want to be able to share ways that parents who are raising neurodivergent kids have resources to really fill their cup so that their kids can, grow from that. So definitely invite your community to that next Thursday, and definitely follow us on YouTube so that you can catch tonight's replay. And, if some of the tools that I shared today, the games that I shared were helpful to you, you can go back and screenshot them or play along with your family, friends, and your team. So we just want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And we will see you all next week, and hope you all have a wonderful night and happy holidays.
Thank you.